Okay, you know what? I think what we'll do is we'll start it off. I am going to record the session so that we can then, I can share this at a later time to everyone who wasn't able to make it. So thank you for coming. My name is Miranda Roccatricelli, and I will be showing you a little bit about our Women Empowerment Leadership Program today. And this program has been in the works for over a decade. And so I'm incredibly excited to finally launch it. This program has been launched to various clients at more of a global scale for all people and employees within their organization. And we still recognize that there is a gap in providing women with unique leadership support. And so I decided to launch this program so that all organizations have an opportunity to champion a woman in their organization and to really acknowledge and recognize the value in supporting women. And so I'm incredibly excited to launch this program that is going to be very specific to women, fostering a female network where we can connect, where we can grow and evolve. And it's an incredibly powerful program. So today I'll provide you with an overview of it, and I'll keep it open to some Q&A at the end. And I will also so I'm recording the session. I have muted everyone. However, I will unmute people at the end. So then if anyone has any questions, we can then go through those questions. All right. So again, I'm just going to go through a quick program overview. We're going to talk a little bit about why this program and the leadership skills that you're going to develop as part of this program, as well as the benefits and of course, how to register. And I will again, open it up to some Q&A. If you could instantly master any skill or talent, what would you choose? And just kind of think of this as a magic wand where you can kind of just, acquire any skill or talent that you would love to explore. What would that look like? What would that be? We'll take a look at that and see if some of those skills and talents are going to be presented and delivered during this 7-month workshop. Negotiating is a great one. I think that fits into so many realms of life. Also as a parent, I'm constantly negotiating with my kids, which I find, if you can negotiate with teenagers, you can negotiate with just about anyone in any place of work. So enhanced listening. Yeah, that's definitely important because often it's hard for us to be present and listen because we have so much going on. And so we will go through aspects of the course that will help people be more present. So today, let's talk a little bit about the program overview, so the logistics of the program. So this is a 7-month program, and I've designed it this way because each module is going to build on the next one. And we all know, I've often worked with clients where we've done, one-time workshops, which is always better than nothing. However, the lifelong, behavioral change happens when there's consistency. And so 7 months is enough time based on my experience to really help people start to adopt new behaviors so that they can show up in different ways. And so every month, and it's right now scheduled for the second Wednesday of every month. I think around 10 a.m. is probably when we're going to start. And the workshops will be about 4 to 5 hours, depending on the level of engagement and depending on the participation. And so those workshops will be offered virtually. So regardless of where people are in the world, they're able to attend. Each participant will also have a one-on-one coaching session with myself every month. And this is just to, again, dig deeper, to explore and really, mine that goal that each person has individually. And this could be personal, this could be professional, and it's all connected to helping that individual gain autonomy and empowerment individually outside of the collective. I'd say there's about 2 hours of homework every month. People can choose to do the homework or not, but again, you always get out what you put in. So showing up and doing the work is something that's going to only benefit everyone. And as a bonus, I will be shipping out packages with workbooks and some goodies, as well as a signed copy of Kathy Mulroy's book, Behind the Black and Raw. Kathy is joining us today as well. And it's a phenomenal memoir. She was one of the first women hired by one of our local mining companies back in the 70s. And so just hearing her journey and her insight about how she was able to navigate at a time when there wasn't much support or any support for women, especially in leadership roles, is, I think, incredibly fascinating and something to learn from. So a little bit about the program overview, and I'm just going to quickly go through these topics. So the first module is going to be about conscious leadership. And so conscious leadership is really about creating a space where we can become more self-aware. And self-awareness is really paying attention to who we are and who we want to be. And we're going to do that by dissecting the anatomy of emotions. The first one is going to be about conscious leadership. So this is where we are going to, again, dig out the anatomy of emotions. So the anatomy of emotions is really understanding all the emotional states and defining them. Because ultimately, when we can't identify an emotional state, we tend to just look at emotions as these ambiguous things that really don't exist, or we're just sad, or we kind of create them into, happy and sad. But ultimately, there is a spectrum of emotions. And until we can really define, for example, what grief is, what, shame is, then we can't really connect with it and we can't let it go. And when we hold on to these emotional states, we ultimately start to fester in them and we can't let them go and move ahead. And how we show up in the world, whether it's professionally or personally, is going to be impacted by how we connect with our emotional states. So this is a methodology that's about power versus force. And the awareness will come when we understand that when we come from a place of power, we're coming from a higher realm of emotional states. So we're coming from courage, we're coming from acceptance, from reason, from peace, from unconditional love. And when we come from a place of force, we're coming from our ego, which is a lower state. And that's where we come from anger. We come from, forceful ways, aggression. And the only way to move through that is to really identify those emotional states. So the first module is incredibly powerful and intense, and it has a drastic ability to change people's lives. And so the second module, we then get into the emotional states, which is, we look into the 5 states. So your self-awareness, your empathy, your emotional regulation, as well as how you're motivated, and of course, your social skills, so how you connect outside yourself. Now, I will say that my content is 80% the participants doing the work and 20% me facilitating and really just guiding the way for us to get to that place where we can be more connected and get to that outcome of growth and evolution, truly. The third module is going to be about leading from a place of power as a woman. And so this is about the foundations of empowerment. And we're going to really look at that. We're also going to host a female speaker who's going to speak about their experiences, where we can have some Q&A and really engage with that individual. We're also going to have some engaging discussions about the difference between women leadership and male leadership. And we're also going to look at the medicine wheel with great methodologies on how to apply into our lives so that we can grow and heal. And we're going to look at boundaries. The fourth module is going to be about building effective and engaging communications. So here we're going to look at methodologies that are true, tried, and tested that are going to help you become more engaging when you're connecting with people, even in challenging conversations. There are certain strategies you can use to help create a much more harmonious flow. And we're going to look at how to present with conviction. And then we're going to follow through with some agreements that we're going to create for ourselves to help guide us along our path. The fifth module is about shifting paradigms. Again, when I say this course is incredibly intense, it really, truly is. However, this is absolutely going to transform everyone's life in such magical ways. So the shifting paradigms is about identifying triggers. And triggers are usually emotional wounds that we have, that when we see something or we experience something, or even we smell something and we use our senses, it brings us down to a lower paradigm of emotional states. And so when we're in that lower paradigm of emotional states, we then tend to come from that place of force. And so this is a way we can start to identify old belief systems and create new belief systems. And so the sixth one is going to be about conflict resolution. And again, this is where we're going to look at mastering conflict management in a positive and proactive way. Now that we've dug out all kind of, the wounds and the dirt, and we now have a clean slate to really be able to be present with people when it comes to dealing with conflict, because you can't be in a state of conflict yourself when you're dealing with conflict. You're just going to add gasoline to the fire in that sense. And so this is going to be a module where we look at cultivating a positive team environment, and we're going to lead through change. And this is going to be a place also where we're going to open it up to topics and content from our participants. The last one, which is the 7th, and this is all about bringing it together and kind of a celebration that we're going to look at summarizing all the concepts that we've learned and bring them together wholesomely so that we can practice them and now go out in the world and apply these concepts. So I know that was a little bit lengthy, but that gives you the gist of the 7-month program. And so just some, statistics on where we're at and ultimately, why this program. And we do know that in male-dominated industries like mining, construction, engineering, and even business, that when there's at least 30% of women in leadership, they have a higher profitability and much more decision-making capabilities. And, we see women come from a nurturing place. Women do come from a place where they are connected emotionally. And while we're in a world where emotions tend to get a bad rap and we're not supposed to feel them, ultimately that doesn't allow us to have control over our emotional states. It really creates a situation where we're suppressed and oppressed, and that tends to come out when we're dealing with colleagues and employees, especially in stressful environments. We also know that there's improved innovation. There's a research from the Boston Consulting Group that shows that companies with more diverse leadership report almost 20% more innovative revenues. And we know in a day and age where things are constantly evolving, having that innovative, transformative power on your side is going to impact your bottom line and where your business goes culturally as well. And lastly, companies that offer leadership development for women will see a better retention rate, and not just with the women participating in these programs, because it has a trickle effect that it impacts everyone and anyone who's connected to that organization and working with women. And so we tend to see higher employee engagement rates in all genders because that diversity in leadership will create a more inclusive and collaborative work environment. I'd like everyone to kind of take a look at these 12 skills that you require. And I mean, you're going to acquire so many more, but to rank them in, where you see them to be more valuable. Just a few more program benefits. Of course, you're going to enhance your leadership skills. You're going to increase your confidence. And this is all absolutely going to happen probably after the first module. And the personalized coaching is just going to give you that extra advantage in digging out some stuff that you may have some barriers that are holding you back. You're going to expand your professional network because we're going to be a group of women who get to connect. And these are women who are across not just Canada, but across the world. And we're going to have practical tools that are going to help you for your leadership, as well as improve decision-making skills. You're going to increase your emotional intelligence, which is going to help you in every aspect of your life. And you're definitely going to have a career advancement from this as well as long-term career. So how do we register? The best way to register is you can scan the code. You can go to creativeelearningdesign.ca. There is a registration form. Once you complete that, then we will send you content so that you can complete the registration. And there are still a few spots available. I'm keeping registration open for about 1 more week and a half until we close it. And if this isn't for you and you're not ready to take this step in your transformative journey, that's okay. I do offer products to help people out, including different journals that are a little bit more digestible for people who are looking to start the change, but not ready to fully commit to a program that's going to completely transform their lives in beautiful ways. And lastly, of course, thank you to our current sponsors. Thank you to Manrock, Barrick, and Cementation for believing and understanding the value that women bring to the workforce, especially when it comes to providing them with unique opportunities to build their leadership skills and to grow and develop to contribute to their lives and to the lives of others. It is incredibly commendable that organizations identify the need for this, and we are incredibly grateful to have our sponsors. So lastly, I'd love to open it up if anyone has any questions. Again, this is an opportunity to transform your life to new heights and to influence from a level of power that you have never experienced before. So this is incredibly exciting. So if you have any questions, just please send me a message. And I thank you all for listening and attending. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. So have a wonderful day, everyone.